All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we get into some mostly LPDS current events, life updates. We'll do a quick recap of the Atlanta wedding trip that I went on, provide a little bit of a funny story about a recent college baseball game I went to with the creature, and I think that's about it, honestly. There may be a quick Yankees update, obviously. I can't remember. There's so much going on in life. I always forget at this point. I'm blanking. Anyway, all that plus a great Cage fact coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. It's a show that talks about nothing but tries to find the lessons and everything, and we have a good time doing it. Hope everybody had a good week. Mine's been hectic. Hectic. Not in the worst way. There's some hurdles, but nothing bad, just a lot going on. By the time this episode posts, I'll be back from Austin, Texas. I'm going up to Austin on Sunday. I went to Austin on Sunday. I'm trying to talk in the future here. I went to Austin Sunday to speak with a relative's writers group that she's part of to talk about some of my time in the military because they're trying to write some fiction and some stories, but they want to make sure that it's realistic and accurate to what they want to write about when it comes to military and stuff like that. So I spoke to them. I imagine it was a good time. I'll talk about it a couple weeks from now after the fact. But got that. I got back from the Atlanta wedding trip, early in the week, and then basically the whole rest of the week was playing catch up on life and preparing for that speaking discussion. So I just been behind on everything. Go. Didn't get a chance to do much of anything social-wise to kind of hit the reset button. And then the very next weekend, the weekend coming up is Easter's. So I'm going back to Austin for Easter's, so I got to prepare for that. And this is not bad stuff. It's just logistics that need to be planned for ahead of time with the way my life and schedule is. So it creates a go kind of situation. Now I know a lot of you are probably looking at my life and like, what are you doing all day anyway? Well, that's none of your business. All right. I am doing a lot of stuff to move the needle forward in a lot of aspects of my life. In hobbies, in career, in friendships, in family stuff, in dog stuff, a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying this to because I feel the need to explain myself, but it's more like to relate to everybody else. Yeah, I may be a single guy with no kids of my own. And it's quite easy to make an assumption that when you're single and you don't have any direct dependents, you should have all this free time and money to do whatever you want, and that's just not the case. So for any of my fellow other single folks out there, I got you. I feel you. Don't feel ashamed to have a busy, hectic life, and you don't just because you don't have a family. There's no shame in that. And to the people who have families, good on you. That's also hectic and crazy and busy all the time. And it's tough to hit the reset button when you got families and stuff like that. And it's a constant go. So good on you for that. And I got you on that one. We got your backs here at the LPDS. If you're a good human being, we'll have your backs no matter what your situation is. Single, married, divorced, open relationship, bisexual, trisexual, multisexual, whatever the other stuff is going on these days in the alphabet soup world, we're here for you. We got your back. We're not judging. Just be a good human being. That's all we ask for. Follow the big three, and you're welcome into the LPDS universe anytime. That being said, my week has been hectic. Just stuff going on to play catch up. Doing a lot of spearhead stuff, putting out content, reaching out to people, trying to help make a positive impact on people's lives and careers and what have yous. So right now, our market, if you haven't been paying attention and you are interested, our market is we built a nice little development program for law firm owners, which I'm excited about. So if you know any law firm owners or lawyers or anybody who wants to chat, send them my way. We could talk about stuff. We can see if we can provide any help to them. But that's what we've been doing, and that's one of the interesting things now that that I'm working through, sort of on the sales side. And we might have talked about this in the past, but I think there's a very common shield that people put up, especially if you're reaching out via email or social media. There's a common shield that people put up of, oh, somebody's trying to sell me snake oil, or somebody's trying to just sell me some bull crap, scam me, whatever it is. And I get it. I'm the same way. Whenever a stranger DMs me on Instagram or LinkedIn or via email, the first thing I think about is like, I'm not interested in getting scammed in buying what you're selling. So we're working through ways to communicate effectively that we're just trying to help people who have a problem that we can solve, that we can help solve. And if you're not in a position that has that particular issue that you're looking to get solved or get help with, we're honest with you here at Spearhead and the LPDS. Hey, I could point you maybe in the right direction to someone who can help you with that, but that's not my bag. So I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that it is and sell you that snake oil. So, yes, it means that there are several prospects out there that do not sign on with us, and that's part of the process of working through your own business venture. But I'd much rather do that than lie, steal, cheat, and weasel my way just to get my sales numbies up and to start stacking cash. The money will come. We're trying to help people. So if you know anybody who might be looking for help in that particular market right now, we'll continue to expand markets, but we're really trying to help the law firm owning side of things, smaller law firms that are trying to grow and build out. Well, let me know. Feel free to send it my way. We can have a discussion anytime, see if we can help out. So we've been doing a lot of stuff for Spearhead and behind the scenes, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different reasons for that, but right now we're doing much more behind the scenes than we've been doing in the past. So that's been keeping me busy. Plus the trip, plus just life keeps you busy sometimes. So I also have this damn strange leak in my fridge that I am pretty sure is coming from the water connection to the sink, so you can get water out of the fridge and ice. I don't know for sure. I'm recording this later in the week, so I haven't had the chance to actually go and investigate, because I might just pull the plug. I don't use the water. I don't use the ice machine from there. The water valve is actually off. I just think it's faulty, so it's still like the water is still traveling into that hose and into the fridge somewhere. So I might just pull that to see if that prevents the water leakage. I don't know, but that's an issue that I need to get addressed, but I don't have the time to prioritize it right now to call someone in to get it addressed. And I'm not, even when I do have the time, I'm not physically around to have someone come over and look at it. So I got toilet paper towels at the ready in case it pops off. So it's temporary. It doesn't happen all the time. It's not a constant leak. It's just one random day I'll see water inside my fridge somewhere, and then for 3, 4, 5 days in a row, nothing. So I don't know what it is, but that's basically what I've been doing. Spearhead, fitness, as much as I can, and crap around the house. Fridge leaks, paper towel stuff. So anyway, I hope everybody had slightly more positive weeks. I had productive week. It just wasn't as positive as you would like sometimes. But that's what we're dealing with here. In the meantime, probably good for you guys, but I have not been able to watch a lot of Yankees games lately. I've just been checking the scores and the updates, and it seems like, just like we've said already, it seems like they're back to their standard ways of not great baseball. And once again, the LPDS is right, telling the world that the torpedo bats were not the secret weapon the Yankees were going to use to cheat their way to a World Series. Again, to me, it's just like steroids. Except it's obviously legal in the league. The torpedo bats are illegal, steroids are not. But it doesn't make you a better player. It doesn't. The advantage it gives you is only as great as the skill that you already have and the effort you put into it. If you stink at hitting, here's a good example. Joey Gallo played for the Yankees for maybe 2 seasons, I think it was, a season and a half. Stunk. And I wanted him to be good so bad. I really like Joey Gallo. He's a good outfielder, strong arm. He can hit bombs, but he was batting like 140. He stunk. He was a terrible batter. Couldn't hit anything. Would strike out 200 plus times a year. Stinks. He just got released by the White Sox. The worst baseball team in the history of the major leagues last year, the worst season ever, released him. That's how bad he was at hitting. Okay? You give him a torpedo bat, nothing changes. Nothing changes. He's not hitting the ball. He couldn't hit. He struck out 200 times. Give the guy a tree trunk, and he's still garbage. Okay? That's the torpedo bat situation. It's not making you a better batter. It may give you a slight advantage if you make contact with the ball pretty regularly. That's what they thought was going to happen with Volpe because he gets jammed all the time whenever he hits the ball. So they're like, oh, we'll move the barrel down a little bit. Maybe it won't look like he's getting jammed as much. Trash finds a way to stay trash, it seems like. When you don't want to actually do the work to improve or you've reached your athletic capability ceiling, there's nothing else that you can do. So either he's refusing to make an adjustment to get better so he actually hits the barrel of the bat more often, or he's reached his capability ceiling. I don't know what it is. I don't know the guy. I'm not between the lines with him. Maybe he just reached his ceiling and he's not going to get better. And that brings us back to the point we've been making the whole time. The torpedo bets are not going to make you a better baseball player. It might give you a slight hitting advantage every once in a while throughout the season if you get jammed and it's like, oh, you actually got more of the bat because it's a different style bat now. That's it. But if you stink, you're still going to stink. Sorry. So that's what the Yankees... The last score I saw, they lost 9-1 to the Giants. San Francisco Giants. They lost 9-1. Marcus Stroman gave up like 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Like didn't even get out of the first inning, and they had to pull him. Now that happens to everybody. That every pitcher goes through that. But if for some reason it seems like it happens to the Yankees more, maybe because I watch more of their games, so that's the sample size I'm going with. I don't know. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt in that regard, but they're back to slightly above 500. Going to crawl into the playoffs and hope that the rest of the league stinks. That's what's going to happen. So good for them. Anyway, let's just move right along. We'll just get right into the good stuff right now. Let's step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right, today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by the LHO bird watching tripod. Are you an avid bird enthusiast whose goal is to fill up your photo album with quality pics, but your camera scope is just too long and heavy and you can't keep it steady from the Dallas Book Repository to land that perfect shot that you only get one chance at? Then get yourself a bird watching tripod from LHO today. LHO has created a custom tripod that fits any camera scope so you'll never miss those long-range shots ever again. It even comes with an adjustable stand in case you find yourself on an uneven grassy knoll and need to level the playing field to capture history. So to get your LHO tripod today, visit www.onassis.com. If you use the promo code Warren Commission, you'll get 29% off your first tripod. I have tripods all around the LPDS studio. For my ring light, I have 2 or 3 extras for different cameras in case I want to do different camera angles. I have little desktop tripods, so if it's tiny ones for the desk when I make spearhead content. They're great. They're steady. It's not somebody holding and moving the camera and shaking it and missing the good angles and the good shots. So highly recommended. And the adjustable legs are phenomenal. I've had tripods that the legs don't adjust individually, and it's tough when you're on a hill trying to get that shot off, get that level shot. So check it out. 29% off. Great deal. Can't beat it with a stick. Anyway, the Cage Fact. The reviews are in for the movie Gunslinger, folks. And it seems like this particular one is, sorry, if you're watching YouTube land, it's fruit fly season here. And if fruit fly season means they're everywhere. In the house, outside the house, they hide in the fruit when you buy them at the grocery store, and they're everywhere. So I found a fruit fly here and I had to swat it away, and I don't know why I'm telling you this. You don't care. So the movie Gunslinger's out, and it seems like you can toss this DVD into the pile of stinky movies, incredible Cage performances. I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't premiered yet, so I haven't seen it. This is from the critics and the what have yous. And what they said was, and these are not Nic Cage fans blogging about it. These are regular movie, like Variety movie reviewers, the standard websites that have critics out there that write these movie reviews. So the critics are objective in that nature, that they're not going to watch it just because it's a Cage movie. They're going to watch it because that's their job. Okay? And what they've all basically said was the movie was very clearly low budget in scope, and the majority of the actors they picked were just stink bombs. That clearly showed the budget that they were working with, that these people were not great. They just kind of bombed. And that because of that, it was tough to actually enjoy the story of it all because these guys stunk. And the movie overall was not great. But every single person said the same thing. Nic Cage turned it up to 11. And I don't know how many more times we have to hear that same review before people start to at least be open to the idea that Nic Cage is just a good actor. And just because he's been in a lot of bad movies doesn't mean he's the reason for the bad movies. Because you've seen him in good movies. And he's always A+ performance. I am biased. I got it. I am always going to admit that I understand my bias. So he's always A+ in my book. But we're trying to spread the awareness to other people. I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong and lambast you and vilify you, make you out to be a piece of garbage because you don't agree with me. I'm just simply asking you to open your heart a little bit and open up to the idea that maybe if I pay attention just to specific Nick Cage, like his efforts in this movie, as opposed to the movie as a whole, maybe I'll see it. Like, just be open to it. Be open to receiving that possibility. That's all I'm asking. Because it's time and time and time again. No matter the movie, good movie, okay movie, terrible made for VHS movie, they all say the same thing. You haven't seen, I have yet to see any reviews that come out specifically saying Nick Cage stunk in this one. I'm sure they're out there. He's been in over 100+ movies, almost 200 at this point, it feels like. So I'm sure there is some out there. I'll take a look and report back. But almost every single time it's the same thing, regardless of the movie. It could be a great movie and they'll have good reviews. You can learn about the storyline and this and that. And then they all end up saying the same thing. Nick Cage, once again, turning up to 11. He's exactly what you wanted out of Nick Cage in every single damn movie. I guess in this one he has like this weird, deep, raspy voice he was trying out. They said phenomenal. He wasn't even the main character, and that's every single review said basically the same thing. He was the one we were paying attention to. I don't know how many more times, how many more movies have to come out before people start to come around and realize, like, the LPDS knows what the hell they're talking about. I just need people to be open. It's a lot of the stuff we talk about sounds crazy right on the surface immediately. I got it. Trust me. I'm the one saying it. It sounds crazy coming out of my stupid mouth a lot. But I just need people to be a little bit open to the ideas, let it sit with it for a while, and you'll see every single time. I don't think there has been a more correct organization out there in the last 5 years than the LPDS. I really don't. Now, do a lot of our takes, are they obvious? Maybe you can argue that. I'm sure there's people who would argue that. Like, yeah, nobody would disagree with that, sure. But our batting average is more than Hall of Fame worthy. We're talking video game worthy, like batting 900. It's just, we're on. So please, when the movie comes out, if you see it come across your streaming services, just take a look and just look at Nick Cage. And if you want to enjoy your evening with your spouse or loved one or anybody just by yourself, and you want to actually know, like, I'm going to get an entertaining performance, just put on any Nick Cage movie, but check out Gunslingers for that. Like, any Nick Cage movie will do that for you. Because he always has scenes where he electrifies the screen. It's a guarantee. That's the Cage fact for you today, folks. You're welcome. We'll go over to the Junction. We'll spin the logo up. Very quickly, I forgot to ask this, and maybe I'll put it up on Instagram, Facebook too. As you know, this is Spearhead specific, real quick for you guys, because I value your opinions the most as the rider dies. We're trying to get the content out there as much as possible. Yes, we're preparing the podcast and stuff like that, but maybe we're overanalyzing here, so I need some outside perspective. I'm looking to get your feedback on if you were looking for something that brings some education and good tips and value in that sort. So we're not talking about necessarily just blind entertainment or funny stuff. We're talking about something that's going to educate and provide good value to you that you can incorporate into your lives. Where do you guys go most commonly to find that? Do you go to iTunes or Spotify? Do you Google? Do you go to YouTube to look for videos? How do you take in that stuff? Is it on TikTok? Do you just look at Instagram Reel? Like, let me know. You can put it in the comments. You can DM me. You can call the hotline 202-670-1114. and let me know, because we want to be able to put it out there in a way that the most people can get access to it and receive the value from it. So let me know what that is. I know for you guys, most of you ride or dies on the LPDS are listening on Spotify or iTunes or Apple. I don't know if they call it iTunes anymore. I forgot. There's a few, only a few of you look at it on YouTube. Most of the time, you're out doing stuff, so you have it in your earbuds while you're living life. So I don't know if that's how you take in any sort of educational type valuable content as well. Please let me know, and we'll make it as available as possible to that crowd. So anyway, I just got back from Atlanta, had a great 4 day trip to go visit LPDS guest and brother Bonji, as his brother got married to a lovely woman. And it was just, I have to say, it was just a tremendous weekend overall. The weddings, whatever, like the wedding specifically, for a wedding, solid. You know how I feel about weddings in general. And that was actually something we discussed with, Bonji and his brother, like just the idea of like the money piece, the wedding industrial complex. I'm not going to bore you with that stuff. I talk about it all the time. I'll say this about everybody in the Brotherhood and the LPDS universe that whose wedding I've been to. I have not yet been to what I would call a bad wedding in the fact that I had a bad time. And that's mainly because of those people there. And they do what they can to accommodate and make you enjoy yourself. Randy, quiet over there. Sorry, Randy's barking at the lawn guy next door. So I don't want to dog on. I will never dog on the Brotherhood and the people whose weddings I've been to or been in, because it's never like I don't dislike weddings because of them or because of what you've put on to host us and make us have an enjoyable time. It's always just because the idea of weddings, the cost that goes into it, the chaos that ensues behind the scenes, the politics involved in the invitations and all that crap. It's agita, it's Italian heartburn for the bride and groom and their families to try to accommodate everybody, but also have a special night. Like, so that being said, I just had a tremendous time. The Bonji's brother is a top tier guy, strange guy, but a top tier guy. I think that he would also say that exact thing. But he has a group of very top tier close friends. Also, same thing. Strange, but very great people in general. So the wedding itself was exactly that. Like the what we did was all strange but great. It was all fun. It was a good time. He had a lot of people, a lot of friends from when he played baseball overseas in Germany. They all flew out, so we had a good time learning about that. Like they're like what they're doing over there in their lives with their lives in Germany. One of the funny things was I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this. They have on Instagram, they'll say, "Oh, so I should be asleep, but I'm up at 3 a.m. watching this German guessing game or whatever." And it's a clip of in Germany. It's a show where the people they have 2 glasses of water, and they have to guess how many milliliters is in each glass, but they're blindfolded. So they have to just clank the glasses and listen to the vibrations and guess. They have all these strange games. They have the game where you have to cut something in half and see who got the closest to being exactly down the middle with the cut on the weight when they put the stuff on the scale. It's very fun, entertaining stuff. So we had a good time talking about how, like, in Germany, they actually, like, that stuff, that content, those shows are actually in the same bucket as like the trashy reality TV shows like Housewives and the dating shows and stuff like that we have here in America. That's what they put it under. So there is definitely an audience for that in Germany, but most of those guys, they're sports guys. They're watching baseball, they're watching European football, they're watching hockey too. A lot of hockey fans too. So that's the reality show community. They're watching that. I just thought it was funny because I get a kick out of those clips, and I always said like if there was a channel that had those shows on all the time, I would watch them nonstop. There was one where like you had to operate a crane or a bulldozer and open bottle caps with the bulldozer, the big bucket on the bulldozer. It's just stupid stuff that was entertaining. And maybe that says a lot about me. I'm just easily entertained. I don't know. But overall, it was a great trip. In fact, we had a one of the guys in the wedding, who's also friends with LPDS guest and brother Bonji. He has a brother who goes to University of Houston and plays baseball there. And these are big German guys. This guy is 6'8". His brother is like 6'7". Big German guys. Let me put this into perspective for you. They're a foot plus taller than me. An entire foot. That's crazy. Like, it almost looked like there was two of me in just wearing big clothes or a trench coat. That's how big these guys are. Most of them were bigger than me. That whole wedding. I mean, if you remember Bonji on the show, if you watch on YouTube when he's been a guest in the past, he's a giant. He looks like Apollo Creed. His whole family is a bunch of Apollo Creeds. It was incredible. So he actually, after his time in Atlanta, he flew to Texas for the week to spend time with his brother, watching his brother pitch in Houston. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So that was very cool. So kind of like the small worlds come together. The baseball community comes together once again, and we had a good time when he was here too. But I do want to say the one thing that I thought was my favorite part of the weekend. My second favorite part, very quickly. My second favorite part, and I know the creature probably won't care about this. I don't remember if the Wet Cat, another LPDS regular, I don't remember what his thoughts were on this. I believe he would be on my side on this one. If you remember a couple years ago, the three of us, myself, Creature, Wet Cat, were all on an episode of the LPDS together, and we debated Waffle House, if we liked it or not. And I know for sure Creature is not a Waffle House guy. I can't remember. I believe Wet Cat is a Waffle House guy. I don't remember 100%. But that being said, my second favorite part of the wedding was after the dinner, after the cake was out, they had Waffle House come in and cater an entire breakfast for everybody. They were making waffles live. They had eggs. They had hash browns. They had the fully loaded stuff. They had bacon. You could get it all. They had chocolate chips for the waffles if you wanted, syrup, butter, the whole nine. It was just Waffle House coming out of a van. They came all out of the van like a clown car with all their gear and their Waffle House hats, and they came into the venue and set up shop, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And that's my Waffle House, as you know, is one of my jams. It's more so for nostalgia's sake, because I used to go there all the time in college during finals week after a long night of finals, studying and stuff like that. Waffle House is always open. It was down the block. I would hit up a Waffle House and cool off before bed or whatever. It was just, or after a long night out with the gang. It was always open. In fact, the night after the wedding, this is kind of funny too, because we had a Waffle House at the wedding. Then after, we all went out to this bar down the street. We can walk there, so it was great. So people can drink without having to worry about it. I was sober. I was basically DD, and I didn't want to drink that much anyway, so I didn't at all. By the time we left the bar closed down. We're talking 3, 4 in the morning. And of course, the Bonji family, him, his brother, and his sister, starving at the end of the night. There's nowhere to go. Everything else is closed except for the Waffle House that's 4 minutes away. So we went in there. I only had a light snack at Waffle House. I just drove them there, and they had full meals, all-star breakfast, fully loaded, everything. Hash browns loaded with gravy, chili, peppers, everything, onions, cheese, the whole every full meals that I would usually take home leftovers from. They housed them after we had basically 3 meals at the wedding itself. Now, these are animals. These guys are animals. They're big guys, 6'4", 6'5" guys, real men. And I'm just, I'm right here. I'm down here in the little guy category. I'm fine with that. I just thought that was funny that we had Waffle House. And then we went and got it again. That's how much Waffle House is ingrained in our blood. Not so much the creature, but a lot of other people here at the LPDS universe and the Brotherhood. Now, that was only my second favorite part of the wedding. My first favorite part, without a doubt for me, was getting to see their father be able to show up at the wedding. He's older. He's been sick. He was in a medical facility for a long time, and now he's home again, and he's on the mend. And it was just really great to see that he was able to show up and be there front row, front and center, to be there for his family, for his sons, to watch his one son get hitched. I thought that was very great. I didn't expect. I thought he was not going to be able to attend, but he was there. They even actually had him go out on his walker to the dance floor, and they held him up so he can dance and have a good time for a little bit. That was awesome too. And being able to see their family again, great time. If you're gonna have, if nothing else, the wedding is a great excuse to see those important people in your life and hang out with them in a fun atmosphere. And it was great. Disappointing portion of the weekend. Kickball got canceled because it rained all day. Now, it wasn't a total wash because they had delicious barbecue that we got to sit and eat under the pavilion while it pissed down rain on the whole event. But we were ready for that. We talked about this previously. We were preparing for weeks to dominate. And let me tell you something. Not for nothing. If we're talking between team husband or team wife because of who they had, representing them at their wedding, I'm obviously on team husband when it came to that for kickball. We're talking team, like every person there was an athlete, played a sport, a hand-eye coordination sport as well. Not just something like, I don't want to downplay it, but not just something like swimming, where I'm not good at swimming, so I'm impressed by those athletes, or running, but something where if a ball is being rolled to you, we're able to kick it. We got the wherewithal to do that. I think we actually had a couple of swimmers there and some runners too. I don't remember. But they were all ex-baseball players. And a lot of big German types too. Plus the Bonji family is all giant Apollo Creed looking people. We would have absolutely smashed Team Wife. If that's how they split the teams up, absolutely smashed them. Because her side, her friends were all medical professionals. She's a doctor. They're all physicians, doctors of different sorts. And let's just say, to put it as nicely and respectfully as possible, we would have absolutely mopped the floor with them at kickball. Swimming, probably not so much. The wife was a swimmer, I think, in college. Crazy good swimmer. I think they had most of the cross country talent, runners' talent was there on her side. But kickball, it would have been absolute domination. Absolute domination. As soon as I got there for the weekend and I saw all the people, all the fellas and the gang on Team Husband, that's all I thought. I was like, oh, we're gonna fucking crush. Sorry, T, family show. But that's exact. I saw that and I was like, we're dominating this damn tournament. We are absolutely gonna dominate. And and I prepared for it too. I made sure I was limber. I wasn't going to tear an Achilles. I was doing my stretches, my mobility work, whatever I had to do to prepare ahead of time. I was ready to rock and roll, and then pouring rain, pouring rain. And it was almost like Team Wife was relieved. You can almost tell, like they were having a great time at the pavilion, eating barbecue, talking, and the Monstars over here on the other side on Team Husband were just, damn, because we were going to absolutely destroy. And I probably would have had the least contributions on the team. And that's not to say because I stink, but compared to those guys, they're all professional athletes in Germany. Real legit professional athletes. That was their job until they retired from sports. That's what they got paid to do. I mean, we would have crushed. That's the only negative of the weekend, to be honest. The only negative. There was really nothing else. I can't think of anything else that was bad. Just that. The opportunity to just dominate on the ball field again. Man, I miss those days. And I was yearning for it. I was yearning for it. And that yearning did not get satisfied. Now I'm going to have to go and find somebody to go to war with in the business sense, because when I get the itch, that itch needs to be scratched. And that's it. There is no alternative. So somebody's getting taken down now. I don't know if it's going to be Lowe's, Home Depot, the cable company, the internet, the phone company. Somebody's got to go down now. So somebody's going to have to also try to talk me off this ledge, because I got the itch right now to compete again. And if it's not sports, it's combat. That's all I know. If it's not sports, it's combat related. So somebody help me out. Somebody come and help me out to cool me off. I probably have to talk to some professional about all this pent-up war pain. But that's where we're at right now. And it didn't help. It only got worse this week because, like I said, one of the groomsmen's brothers plays at University of Houston. So first we met him on Monday evening, and we hung out with him and his baseball buddies to go watch the University of Houston basketball team play in the NCAA national tournament. And they lost in an embarrassing fashion. They were winning the whole game, and they shit the bed and lost. That was tough. But just to see them getting all amped up about sports, it was great to be around there. And then the brother was pitching Friday evening home game against West Virginia, and the head coach of West Virginia was our old third baseman at Embry-Riddle, Steve Sabins. I have no problem saying his name because you can just go look up West Virginia head coach, and that's him. So me and the creature and I decided we're going to go to this game. We'll go with our buddy and watch his brother pitch. So it's a win-win. We get to watch him pitch, and then we get to see our old pal. Now, we sat right behind home plate so we can watch the brother Paul pitch. He's solid. Like I said, 6'7", 6'8". I think he's a junior now. pumping Ched. He's a good pitcher. Probably, if he doesn't get drafted at this year, he stays healthy, he'll get drafted next year. I can't see him not getting drafted in one of the rounds. Um, he's just very good. And then our buddy Sabins is coaching the team, and he's actually coaching third base too when his team is at the plate. So the first time we see him walking from third base back to the dugout, I gave a quick yell to get his attention, and nothing. Now, I gave him all the benefit of the doubt on that one. A, he could have just not heard. A very distinct possibility he just didn't hear me yelling his name. B, also very likely and understandable, is he heard, but he didn't see. And because you're in the zone of coach, he's head coach of the team, he's coaching a game, you don't let the distractions get to you. Just like in the pros, when there's 50,000 people in the stands, there's going to be a ton of people screaming your name. You can't go like a puppy looking around to see who is it. No, you got to stay locked in. He's coaching a game. He's not like he was a pitcher who was not pitching that day. He could kind of look around it and not pay attention. No, he had to stay locked in. So I was like, okay, no problem. I don't think he big leagued me. I think he just didn't hear, or he had to stay in the zone. He's in the middle of a game. He's trying to do his job. I wouldn't want someone, when I'm sitting at my desk doing my job, to someone to just yell my name. Big nose, hey. I probably wouldn't answer to, or if I did, it wouldn't be great. So, got it. We wait till the end of the game. This was like the second inning I did that. We wait all game. All right. West Virginia ended up winning. They're good. Their offense is, they don't have a player in their lineup who's batting under 330 except for two guys. One starter who's batting 295, and they had a pinch hitter come in who was also batting like 293. Everybody else was well over 300 on his offense. So they're doing good work. I think they're the Big 12 too, so they're in a legitimate conference too. They won like 9-2. West Virginia won like 9-2. Houston was not expected to win the game. West Virginia is just a better team overall. I think they all knew that. So I thought, now, the game's over. He won. I know from history, if you lose a game, you're not talking to anybody. You shouldn't be anyway, at least according to our head coach, Skip. You shouldn't be talking to anybody. If you even look like you have any sort of positive thought in your brain, you should be chastised for that. And nobody bother you. No, get out of there. So that wasn't the case. He won the game. So I was like, oh, he'll be a little lighthearted. He's shaking hands with the other coaches right behind home plate, right there, 20 feet from us. And then he's done shaking hands. He's coming back around, and I yell again, Sabins! And he hears, and he turns and he looks, and he gives this half a grin and the straight out hand. If you're looking at YouTube land, it was one of those straight out, like half smile, like not a wave of the hand, but the hand up, like oh, it looks like a stop sign, like he's a crossing guard stopping traffic so that the kids can cross. He just gave that kind of wave, like that's it. Hey there. Hey, random guy calling my name. I'm trying to be nice, but you're bothering me. That's what he gave. Okay? And then he walked away. Now, I am very torn because my immediate reaction was, this son of a bitch. We shared the field of battle together, baseball battle, not combat battle. We shared the field of battle together, getting fungo ground balls blasted at us at the hot corner at third base during practice by Skip. One time, he brought us to the outfield, parked us right in front of the left field wall, and he stood about 50, 60 feet away from us, maybe a little bit farther back. And he's like, listen, I'm going to hit these ground balls as hard as I can. I'm just going to blast you with them. Oh, I just need you to not be pussies, for lack of a better term. Sorry, T Family Show, and stay in front of them. That's it. You're the hot corner. You got to be ready for everything. I'm going to blast you with these fungos. And he just had a bucket of balls, and he had us both standing there, and that was it. Just peppering us from maybe 100 feet away, tops. We shared that together. We shared those long 4-hour practices followed by running our dicks off in the sweltering, humid heat of Daytona Beach. We shared that together. That journey. And this bastard is going to give me the crossing guard stop sign and the "don't bother me, kid, how you doing?" and a walk away. I was stunned. I was like, wow, head coaching really got to this dude's head for sure. I can't believe he would do that. And the creature was out for blood. He's like, I'll kill him for you. Whatever. What do you got? What do we got to do? We got. He's like, you got room in your trunk? We'll take him out right now. He won't be a problem for us anymore. You don't do that to your pals who you shared those memories with, that journey, those tribulations together. You don't do that. You don't big league your boys like that. And he was ready. He's like, listen, say the word. We'll take this guy out. He's done. He's on the list now. He's done. But we took the LPDS step back. We took a deep breath. We assessed the situation. Okay? Got to follow the big three. We got to take a leadership approach to this. And I said, listen, we know statements. There's no way he looked at us and recognized us and still would pull that stunt. There's no way. We never had a fight. There was never anything that we did that you could be like, oh, there's a chance that this guy just doesn't like me anymore. There's several players that I played with that for sure could happen. Never really liked them on the team, never hung out with them, probably got into a scuffle with them here or there while on the team. So if I saw them out, even if they were friendly, I would probably be like, hey, how you doing? I'm going to stop you right there. This is where it ends for us. This cordial greeting, that's it. Take care and move on. I don't need to have you continue. I don't want to pretend to like you. You don't have to pretend to like me. We could be cordial and professional and move on. There's no way. There was nothing that happened in the course of our friendship and our teammateship that would warrant that level of big leaguing by any of us. So I said, listen, he probably just didn't recognize us. He probably looked over and was like, I can't really tell I don't know who this is, but I'm not going to be a dickhead. So I'll give the cordial crossing guard, how you doing? That's it. And I'll move on. And again, he's a head coach of a D1 baseball team. He's getting that everywhere. Everyone he's waving at him, saying hi to, especially at home games in West Virginia. That's all they have is sports and according to him, the medical facility. That's all they got. And they had a lot of fans at this game too. Big fan base. It was almost split in half between home field fans and West Virginia fans, which is crazy. So he probably was just a fan of the program. I'll just wave and move on. So I was like, listen, let's just go over there before we go fangs out. Because that's what we wanted to do. I wanted to go over there and be like, who the fuck do you think you are? I was nothing but good to you. I was the sergeant. Okay? I sat there at third base with you, and I got blasted with ground balls, and I sucked so that you can have that starting position. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be at the school. Because my second year on the team, 08-09, after that season, our third baseman was gone. And then the 2009-2010 season was coming up, and our head coaches looked at the roster and was like, this is the depth chart we have at third base. Is Sarge We got to get somebody in and fill this spot. We can't have this. We can't have this gaping hole. In fact, I'm not even mad about it because they did exactly what I've been begging Brian Cashman to do with the Yankees. You have a glaring hole at the hot corner. You got to fill that hole. Cashman didn't do that. He's a sucker. He's a beta bitch boy if I ever saw one. Cared about saving money and didn't actually do anything to help the team. Not our coach, not Skip. He saw that. He's like, we can't be a World Series competing organization if our starting third baseman's name is Sargent and he does the team's laundry. It just can't happen. And I get it. I'm a bullpen catcher. I'm a pinch hitter. I'm a pinch runner. I'm a backup third baseman. I'm fine. I reached my athletic ceiling. I could have been that's my only argument is I could have been a starting DH for that team. I would have been good there. That's my only argument. Pushback to my head coach was I should have been more forceful. You should have played me at at DH. That's it. Everything else, don't put me in the field. I'm a liability. I'm too inconsistent compared to what we need to succeed in our team. And he went out to Oklahoma State and he snagged Steve Saban's over to Embry-Riddle. And the guy had an illustrious career at the hot corner, batting like 600 for the team. Guy was unstoppable force. He would have been rotting on the bench in Oklahoma State. And instead, he comes over to Embry-Riddle, and he's a star. And he gets lined up, and he gets into the coaching community. Now he's a head coach for a premier D1 organization. And none of that would have been possible if I wasn't the depth chart, if I wasn't the third base depth chart roster spot that needed to be replaced immediately. If it wasn't for me, that never happens to him. And that's exactly what I wanted to say to him. I wanted to go right up to him and say, listen to me. Not only was I a loyal and compassionate and good friend to you off the field, I'm the reason you existed on this field. And that's what you're going to do? You're going to big league me? You're going to crossing guard how you doing me? I don't think so, pal. And just to let you know, the creature right here is ready to take you out. He just grabbed some piano wire from the campus music department, and he's ready to take you out right now. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's what I wanted to say. But we decided to hold off and just ask the question. We just went up and said, hey, Sabins. And then he looked. We were closer in proximity. He got finished talking to his team. And he's like, oh, shit. It's Sergeant Creature, Sergeant Orty. And then the first thing he said was, dude, I didn't recognize you guys because I didn't know you were showing up, so I didn't even register to think like, wow, is that Sergeant Orty? Why would they show up here? He didn't know that we lived there or whatever. So he's like, I didn't recognize you, so I just gave you that half-ass. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't even know. And I was like, thank God, pal. Thank God you just said that because we were getting ready to kill you. You were going down. And afterwards, I said to the Order, I was like, thank God. I was like, I knew we should have given there. I knew there was no way he would knowingly do that to us. There's no way. We had a good relationship. We had a good friendship. He's a great dude. He would never do that. And he didn't. And he didn't do it. And we got to catch up a little bit. And it was awesome to see him again. His team's doing great. He's doing well for himself and his family. It was awesome to see not only our friend's brother pitch, and he didn't even do that bad. He pitched well. It's just West Virginia's offense is good. Plus, there was some errors in the field that cost some more unearned runs. So it looked bad on paper, but it really wasn't that bad. I know it's a loss is a loss is a loss. Got it. But to his credit, he pitched a good game. But West Virginia is just a better team. Better hitting team. Their offense is there. Every single time they're there. They're all betting at 330 or more. So got it. But it was awesome to see the brother pitch and then see our old pal doing well for himself, still living in the baseball world. I love that. I wish I could have done that. I don't regret anything. Obviously, I was in the military after college. I wanted to be in the military, but I also had no choice. Like if I decided after college, like I don't want to be in the military anymore, it's like too bad. You signed your contract. You got to go. And once you're out of the college baseball world, unless you have a friend that can let you get back in, where you have to rough it as a volunteer assistant coach for a couple years to get back into that pipeline, that brotherhood, to get coaching gigs around. Once you're out, it's very tough to get back in. And I was out for way too. I can't get back in now. I would love to go and coach again, coach at that level. There's no way I can do it. There's no way I would want to do it because it would take too long, and I have other goals and aspirations with my life. But just being in the baseball world, man, it was almost bittersweet to see that. And that's what I was talking about with the kickball stuff. Is like you're raring to go and compete again. And then watching this game, watching these guys compete and remembering, like seeing your old pals that you competed with still out there doing, you're like, damn it, I wish I could still be out there with them. I wish I could still be out there with them. So, but it was cool. It was a great thing to see, great experience. I'll probably actually go to more University of Houston games just because it's good. It's D1 baseball. It's college baseball. It's great stuff. My one issue, well, besides the potential big league of the century, excuse me, was they won 9-2. West Virginia won 9-2. And Sabins is out there talking to his team for like 20 minutes after the game. Like first you won the game. You crushed them. You dominated. 9-2 is a dominating baseball victory. What do you have to say that's taken 20 minutes? Hey, good work. Don't let it get to your head. We're going to get back out there. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow. We're going to do the same thing Sunday. Stay with it. Keep the momentum. Stay mentally strong and ready to rock and roll. Visualize the victories. Don't get complacent. Don't get big-headed. Let's finish the job. Good work tonight. Get out on the bus. We'll get some Papa John's. So I forgot to bust his balls for that, mainly because I was so enraged and so ready with a hair trigger, ready to pounce if he actually big leagued us. But he didn't, so I got caught up in the moment. Fog of war. It happens. And I forgot to kind of bust his ball and be like, what the hell were you guys? What were you talking about for 20 minutes? You guys dominated. That's it. Go. Get back on the bus. We'll order some Papa John's. Each person gets 2 slices. You got to share 1 pie with 3 people. That's it. Just like we had to do it back in the day. So I'll have to shoot him a text to find out. But that's all I got today, folks. That's it. We had like I said, a busy week, but we had a lot of good memories made. And I like that. I like a good memory every once in a while. So before we go, though, very quickly, the big 3, the 3 pillars of staying strong, being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being, and being able to spread that positivity and goodness throughout the land and to all those around you. Number 1, exercise every day. Do one thing each and every day to improve your fitness and health physically, mentally, or emotionally. Number 2, don't be a shitty person. Be a kind person. When the opportunity to be shitty and negative arises, even when somebody you think maybe deserves that response, or if you think it should be initiated in the world, just take the LPDS step back, take a deep breath, remove yourself from that situation altogether. Minimize the negativity and shit going on in this world. It never ends well. That never ends well. It's very difficult to do, though, I know, because emotionally in the moment, very tough to do. I get it. Number 3, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And you can do that each day by thinking about at least one good thing in your life and thinking about what your life would be like without that thing. And that'll immediately put you in the state of gratitude. and that changes your thought process throughout the rest of the day, and everything else starts to get better. And if you do all those three things, those simple three things, a little bit each and every day, just chip away each and every day, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, I promise you, you'll be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being. You'll be able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and put your notifications on. Tell your friends and enemies. Hit the hotline 202-670-1114. That's the hotline number. Call it. I love it. I'll post some information online somewhere to get your feedback on best areas to post spearhead content like podcast episodes and stuff like that, so that you're going to have the ability to listen or take it in better. I'll post that on the internet somewhere for you guys to give me your feedback. But you can also call that a hotline, 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.